What's up, everybody? It's your favorite bullet-hitting unintended target's favorite nerd, and today we are looking at the MMC Ocular Max Infinite Finity. How many brands are we going to do on this thing? Stray, which is on loan to me from Rusty Mechanic, who you probably know from his very own YouTube channel. Now, he sent this to me to review after listening to an episode of Shop Talk on Patreon where I had mentioned that I missed out on the pre-order for this guy, and then a lot of people hit me up with other places that still had it available, blah, blah, blah. But he heard that, hit me up, and he sent this to me, but he sent this to me conditionally, but it was a condition that I was happy to meet. So if you go to his channel, and I will have a link to this in the video. Matter of fact, I'll probably just link this Facebook post. He is hosting raffles to support Kennedy's Village. Kennedy's Village is a foundation started by Eric B., a personal friend of mine, who is raising money, knowledge, awareness about sickle cell, and is sort of always on the front lines of that, as it were. But Rusty Mechanic is hosting raffles of chances to win up to four figures, I believe. It's Magic Square Munitioner, MPU Thrust, and if there are over 100 entries for this month's raffle, the winner of the draw at the end of the month will get to choose one of the following three figures, Munitioner, Thrust, or DX9 Red Storm. Now, he's doing all this sort of stuff. It's only $1 per entry, and you can enter as many times as you'd like. And if there are over 250 entries, the winner will win all four figures. Now, this was obviously for the February raffle, but I think he plans to continue this. So, it's a good cause, good people, good energy. The link is in the description. Now, let's get to this figure, but first, we got to get to accessories. So, he comes with the alternate, patch face. Really great paintwork, the gunmetal on the side, and then really tight red line work, which looks fantastic. The face is painted, the teeth are painted, the back of the mouth is painted black, the eyes are painted with the metallic blue, and then the patch is painted silver. I definitely prefer the more stock head, so to speak, but this is a nice addition. He comes with a number of extra faces. You get two for the stock head, so to speak, which has a little slight smirk and then a stoic face. The opening footage had a really angry face. And then for the patch eye, you have stoic, smirk, maybe another slight stoic, and then a different type of grimace. So plenty of face options. You get two little swords. We have, they're identical, which we'll just look at one. Has the gold and red there in the center with the silver along the blade that cuts through the black line work. I like that a lot. He can hold that with tension in his fingers. It can also be stowed inside the car door for the scabbard or sheath look. The smaller swords also have two holes. You can utilize them on the back if you'd like also. To store, up to you. I prefer the scabbard, but up to you. You can store the smaller swords with these two tabs here, both going on there, no problem. You also get the more standard sword, which is beautifully decorated with the gold and red work there, and then the silver once again cutting through the black. Very nice. He'll hold that just fine with tension also in the fist, and then this little clip will sort around his hand as well, which is a cool look. Storage wise, you can really just tuck this right down in here and it'll hold just fine. But the gimmick of it is you're supposed to lift this and then this comes out and then you take that and then you use that, which is also fine. You know, no problem. It works either way, but these work just fine also. To store the long sword, disconnect these sections, utilize this, which is, you know, in my opinion, just as good as the kind of spring-loaded gimmick. Close that up, and then this will plug in underneath of his nether regions. But then it sticks out the back. I guess it kind of looks like a hitch, you could say. You know, so you could kind of sell it that way. But, you know, not the most elegant. And he also comes with a little die-cast pin that you can wear on your tie or something if you'd like. He also comes with a couple of decal sheets if you're so interested. Lastly, he comes with a little cup. I think this has something to do with an anime that it's associated with. It's just a plastic white cup. And it takes some pretty extensive transforming to get access to where it goes, but it goes there in this kind of center console. If it's worth it to you, then go for it. And let's take a look at the figure and we'll get in tight on the head sculpt for Dennis. And I think it's great. MMC nails a head sculpt. They really know how to like capture a character and make it seem alive. And this one's no different. The face sculpt looks great. The eyes are painted well. The gold is painted well. The red, like trim, so to speak, is sharp as a tack. Outstanding stuff. Black as well on the back. So the head is on a ball peg, limited up, decent down, good side to side, confused drift look works fine. Shoulders, we got a lot going on here. So we have a universal joint for starters that will get the arm up to about 90 degrees, maybe a slight, just a hair short, but close enough, I'd say. And then 360 around. You have a reverse butterfly and a forward butterfly, or billify, as we say here now. Gold and black accents there, silver and gold accents together. I like the little, fuel cap there. Then we have the black line work from the car and all that, which we'll talk about a bit more when we get to car mode. Looks good. Bicep swivel. Double jointed elbow that gets you the full run. And then deco-wise, not a whole lot to talk about. We have some black accents there. Wrist, hinge in and out. They'll also swivel. Fingers are individually articulated on a base ball peg. Whoa, sorry about that, guys. Let me back out a little bit. You can splay them out a bit. You have the base knuckle, secondary, and tertiary knuckle, so full range on the fingers, if you will. And then a ball peg at the base, which comes out to a secondary hinge, and then a tertiary hinge. So, fully articulated hands also, which is nice. Let's see. Torso. We have the translucent. Underneath there, we have a little bit of the deco, the drift deco, which we kind of come to know, which is cool. Waist swivel. Ab crunch forward, nice enough. We have our scabbards or sheaths. I'm not really sure what the difference is between the two, and I don't really care, to be honest, so don't tell me. Then we have the gold deco and the red and black deco on the pelvis. Ratcheted hips out to the side, which I love. It's been a long time since we've seen that because people are so worried about the clicks between. And then forward and back tensioned for the full Monty. So that's nice. Thigh swivel, silver accents on the thigh, both at the hip and at the lower thigh. The knees are kind of a wonky part, a little wonky donkey, if you will. So this is a piece, and then that's a hinge between the two, so it's a double hinge. And as you manipulate it, it does have a tendency to kind of collapse and push in, and then you're supposed to sit the knee pad kind of down on top of it. Oftentimes this will come, unaligned and end up looking messy. Not the biggest deal in the world, you just got to clean it back up, but it is kind of like doesn't feel like a masterpiece styled thing, All right. Black line work of the car work goes down the side. That looks good. Black paint work there. Gold paint work there. We have ankles. No ankle tilt up. We do get a toe tilt up, so fake it till you make it. It'll work. Same for the ankle tilt down. And then you have a full range rocker, which is nice. And then there he is from the back. And I do want to say that I like the little silver accents there. That's a nice touch. I'm not crazy about the proportions of this guy either. It's just not what I expect really with MMC. Something is a little off about this to me, just presentation-wise. But rubber tires, which is nice. So let's go ahead and do some size comparisons. Size comparison-wise, I don't really know what you guys would like to see him with. There he is next to a Masterpiece car. So he's a bigger bot, and I'm not sure that works to his favor, honestly. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Now, you could make the argument that because this kind of rendition of the character became super popularized with the IDW stuff, that perhaps he should be closer to the size of Rodimus. So that's a fair argument, but I'm just not sure how I feel about it. And I don't know if this means anything to you or not, but there he is next to the reformatted version, and I don't know, man. I don't know if I like this better than the reformatted version. The proportions I think look better on the reformatted version. The shoulders are a little toned down, obviously, on the Infinite Finity, and that's cool. I don't know, man. I'm not sure how I feel about this. All right, let's get him transformed. So rotate at the wrist, and then collapse the whole wrist over so that it sits up against the forearm. Bring out the butterfly joint here. Oh, you know what? I don't know if I mentioned the knees. The knees are single hinge. They're on a ratchet and get you 90 degrees. All right. What do we got here? So you got this piece. This is tabbed in here at the front. It's also tabbed into the side here. And you kind of got to free it up and then rotate this whole piece out. You can collapse this. Is that broken? Hold on. So it is not broken. It is glue that has come unglued. So we're gonna try, I'm gonna set that to the side. We'll come back to it. Okay. Then you want to rotate this arm up underneath, and then collapse at the elbow. There's a little tab here. You want to tab that in to the forearm. Nothing to it. All right, and then you want to, oh, I'm really bummed about that. Rotate here so that that joint flattens out, but you got to bring this back down and just takes a little finagling. I can't get it. Basically where that pin is, you see this rotates here. Where that pin is, it needs to sit on top, and then it needs to stay there while this piece rotates back around it. And then this piece needs to tab in here to the side. There. All right, so let's do that again and hope that that piece doesn't come out. So spin the wrist 180 and then collapse the forearm or the wrist up against the forearm. And then you can open this up. Remember that it's tabbed in also at the side here, so just use a little caution. And rotate this piece out. You can slide this out, rotate it, and slide it back in. Take your shoulder and I got all discombobulated. Rotate the shoulder up, rotate at the elbow down, and tab in the forearm to the fender. And then once again, this is the more tricky part. You gotta like get that part with the pin sitting up, and then you gotta rotate the shoulder bit back around it so that it stays with the pin up. And what am I doing wrong here? There. And then connect this part of the hood. Take this piece down. Take this windshield piece out. I didn't have, actually, let me show you. Snap these car seats into position. They have to sit perpendicular to the kind of body of the robot. You can adjust these seats a little bit too. Okay, I didn't have these. Let me untab this. You can untab this from the head. I didn't have these pieces sitting right. Rusty kind of set me up for not for success right there, if you ask me. But they're supposed to be sitting outwards with this silver piece in, and then you rotate them in to get to vehicle mode. I'm sorry, rotate them in the other way so that those little like details are showing. Then you can tuck the head in and then flip these little black pieces down and then fold or roll these into each other. And we'll tab that together. And then this piece comes back down. And there's like tabs here and here that will tab into it. You just got to kind of get it. And then these parts of the windshield sort of hook underneath that door there. And I'm having a hard time seeing where the tab is there. The black on black. And then this piece comes up. We can actually, let me fold this up. Bring this up. And align these two sections so that they tab in. And let's rotate the waist too, right there. There. It's kind of what we're looking for. I'll clean that up a little bit. Those are the steps anyway. It's just a matter of executing it properly. All right, then our doors open up, flip the window up, extend, spin around so that it's going to line up properly, and then fold this in until it snaps into place here at the front. But you can kind of leave this sort of out and about for now. But those are the steps anyway. So once again, window out, fold out, rotate forward, rotate forward. All right, and then we got these lower legs, which are not great, man. They're not fun. So pull this back piece out and untab the heel from the toe so that this piece is kind of free spinning. Rotate this down. This is at least pretty self-explanatory, you know, and kind of finish off the bumper there. Right? That's no problem. And then this toe you're going to wrap back around and tuck in just so that you can clear this rear panel around to the other side. And then you're going to take this piece and fold it back. And then this piece here spins around until it stops. And you'll know it like hits a bumper. Then take your toe and fold it back. And this actually kind of slid into place anyway. Maybe I can show you better next time around. But these two wheels here have to sit inside of that cutout. Then this folds around. Actually, there's a thigh piece here that's slid down. Can you see it at the hip? Slide that up. And then this piece folds around. Fold the knee up. And then that's got to go in there, right? I think that goes in there. Let me mess with this a little bit. Okay, so let's do this again. I don't like it, man. I don't like it. Pull this out. It's already started to come loose. Rotate this up. This part's easy. Fold this down. Fold this down. Connect it. Then you gotta fold the toe in just so you can clear this to the other side. Then you're gonna bring this back. You're gonna fold the toe back onto itself, but you're going to make sure that you have this silver piece facing out, and then you're going to collapse this in so that the two wheels sit in those kind of like circular cradles. And let's see. And then you're going to make sure that your thigh is rotated up. Rotate at the knee. And then over again. Oh, shoot. We missed a spot, didn't we? This piece has got to rotate over until it hits the buffer or bumper. Then this will rotate over. Oh, and now we forget another one. So this knee has to fold up. Sorry, guys. I've kind of reached my limit. I'm not crazy about this. All right, let me take a minute and make sure I got this all lined up before we finish it off, so to speak. Okay, so here we are, final steps. These two silver things, I had them facing forward. Make sure they're facing up. They're sitting in a little pocket. It makes sense when you're looking at it. Rotate these pieces up. Make sure you're all connected, right? This comes down, tabs into the roof, and then your doors come down and tab into the side. And I will clean it up and take a look at it and put that piece on that fell off. Not a fan, dude. Not a fan. So there it is. I had to actually take a break. Here it is next to tire tracks. So it fits in well with the MP line of cars, I think. Size-wise, anyway. Let's talk about it. So, I like the blacked out wheels. I think that looks good. It's a dense, sort of not very opaque, translucent plastic for the windows. I think that was the right choice. You could probably get this a little tighter. I'm just done with it. Rubber wheels. We've already talked about that. Headlights. Well, not really headlights, are they? But the turn signals. Place for the license plate. We got the brake lights and turn signals there on the back. Clever inclusion of the exhaust there. The doors do open. Oh, God. I need to quit. There. Then you can see inside, obviously, the seats, steering wheel, dash, etc. You know, I'll be honest with you, I'm over this one. Over it. Not what I would have expected from them. But anyway. Yeah, I can't anymore. Let's move on. Barely. Final thoughts wise, we'll start with the negatives. And look, my biggest negative here is purely a subjective one. And that is, I think the proportions are wonky. I think this guy just got some wonky donkey proportions. They're all upper body issues. The lower body portion wise is fine, but that's my biggest issue here. But it's a significant one. Secondly, the kind of design of the lower legs with the two hinges and the two panels and the kneecaps and getting it all to kind of work in concert, not my favorite. And like, this is a common criticism that I have with MMC Ocular Max stuff. Like, when you're participating and you're playing in the Masterpiece waters, when you don't have that finish coat of paint, it always comes across as a little bit less than. It always makes it feel like it's parading in a Masterpiece space and doesn't actually feel in a Masterpiece space. And that's with all of their figures, even the ones that I'm more fond of, right? Like, they always have that like lack of finish that like the X-Transbots have. The Fans Toys, of course, have. I mean, that company that did the roller, like, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people, when they start playing in those Masterpiece waters. But I mean, my main issue with this guy is the transformation. It's just, you know, when it comes to MMC MMC, I just expect, like, you know, look, it might have things that I have issues with. I usually don't think there's enough paint on it, like, you know, blah, blah, blah. Like, I tend to kind of have these expectations of the normal stuff that's gonna bother me. But the one thing about reviewing an MMC product or handling an MMC product is I'm always like, man, at least the transformation is going to be a breeze. If not a breeze, at least interesting. If not interesting, at the very least fun. And I don't know if I consider this any of those things. It seems clumsy in a very unfamiliar way when dealing with an MMC product, and really took its toll on my ability to enjoy the figure. And that's, you know, aside from the proportions of robot mode, that's really one of my main issues here. Moving on to the positives. Materials feel great. The build is fantastic. The accessories are appropriate and plentiful with the face options and such. The paintwork, while not a finish, does have a ton of accent work throughout that I do think makes the piece look interesting enough. The articulation is fantastic. It pretty much offers everything that you would want, from butterflies, full range knees, elbows. You don't get the ankle tilt up or down, but the toe tilts cover it. So nothing you really would want more in that department. The vehicle mode I do think looks great. You know, I'm not crazy about what it takes to get there, but I do think that once you're there, it looks really, really good. I think it's a stunning vehicle mode, in fact. And I like the weapon storage kind of throughout, you know, and that's about it. Look, this is not my favorite piece, man. This was pretty disappointing for me. I don't think it works great with an MP collection. I don't know what collection it's meant to look great with other than the other Infinity or Infinity collection. I don't think that collection has an identity. So yeah, I'm not confident recommending this. Hate to say it, because I do enjoy their pieces. Hope that helps. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.